Bit of work on the magical Mr. Kearney machine. And we got something pretty decent. So what I did is I tapped that quarter 20, and then I actually used the jigsaw to cut the keyway. So we all should be good here. Oh, let's see. I don't even have a sprocket out here. Alright, let's see how we go. Oh, like a glove. Oh, it's tight, but that's what we want. So anyways, I made the keyway so that the grub screw I'm going to put in will hold this in place. So we need to find a sprocket. I believe I had one. There we go. You know, I've never even checked to see if the holes line up. Shit. Oh, they should. Yeah, we good. We definitely good. So, that's going to be the basic goal here for the crank setup. I'm going to mount a sprocket, one of my motorized bike sprockets, put a grub screw with a key in there, and then we'll put it up to the Freewheel up here. So, oh, anyways. To just show you guys this kind of funny. So we got about, I don't know, 800 foot-pounds of force before that breaks off. Anyways, everything on this is grade 6 bolts. Everything. All English. So, anyways, keep that in mind. Everything, all the collars, everything, grade 6. It's funny. Yeah, forgive the mess everywhere. This has been a creation process and a half here. So I do got all the cranks done. So that's out of the way. People were asking, like, how is this going to be? But, I mean, if you look, my foot's going to be, you know, so not bad. I mean, I always put this foot back, and I ride with this one forward. So, you know, I'm going to have this to contend with, so my foot will be here. So it'll be nice. I keep my seat low, too, and I'm pretty tall, so. I mean, when you look at this one, ain't much different, you know what I'm saying? So, a little wider, but I kind of wanted to do that, just I'm only this much wider than the other one, so, I mean, that one's literally inline, and this one is like, when you look at it, it's like an inch out from where the other one sits. Oh, not that much of a big difference. What I did is I welded a motorized bicycle crank one together, then hardened it. And I mean, the bearings and stuff are just chewing the crank apart anyways because the metal is crap in them. So this is a solid hardened 5/16 shaft. And when I say it was a biznitch to cut, it was a biznitch to cut. Need the extra big coffee cup. Anyways, I did the first one. It's a 5/16 24. And drilled it in about E8 bar and all that good stuff. Well, I'm doing it on this side too. And I did buy a hardened shaft, which is absolutely wonderful, keyed. I didn't want to anneal it. I said, well, let's see if we could do it. I got carbide bits, so we're going to drill these, and I got carbide taps, so they cut like butter, but it's a slow, painful process here, so fun times. Alright, let's keep going. Alright, so this is going to be interesting. I had to put a drill vise on here. I don't even have freaking studs or anything to mount this thing. All my vices sit in the grooves to keep it square. They're like preset. I wasn't gonna like mess them all up, and I gotta cut this weird funky angle, so I set it up in a drill freaking vise here. And I'm using the keyway as a flat to start my first two cuts. So here we go. I hope this works. Kind of funky setup, but I think it's gonna work. Well, we'll find out. What? But I had to use carbide everything. Cutters, drills, taps. I didn't want to anneal it because I didn't want to have to go through and harden the whole thing. I wanted to make sure it stayed like the way that they sent it. So this is where we're at. I'm going to pull this off again and repaint it, all that. I did use this little derailleur, that 1-speed type deal, because it was the only way you can get chain tension. I mean, it works great. So anyways, this is a freewheel because I wanted it, when this slows down, to not drag on the CVT, because this wheel is so big. I have that problem with the 4-stroke. What will happen is the belt will drag, because this wheel has more torque than like a go-kart wheel where it's like the size of this sprocket. So it won't drag the belt as it slows down. The engine can slow down and the wheel can just keep rolling until you come to a stop with your brakes. And then while this is spinning, well, see, I can't do it because if that's going backwards. But if the wheels, see, and pedals don't turn, and that's the point of this freewheel up here. So I just wanted to give you guys a close-up of that. So yeah, I made my own frame bracket here, and I bolted it to that. This is all really good steel. And I double welded everything inside out. And that's actually that's my first flux core one on this type of metal. And see, I don't get all that splatter. That's it. That's like all the splatter I got. Those are like super nice clean welds. I've been getting this Blue Demon stuff now because I just can't get gas. And I said, well, let's give it a try. And I'm telling you, the better stuff that you buy, well worth it. And I mean, you got to run it correctly. I actually ran this uphill, and and there's different types of that stuff. That some of them you can't go and stop and then re-weld over. It makes a mess. So you gotta really read them. But that blue, it's called Blue Demon or something like that. I had really good luck with it. I mean, this is some quality welds on there. So, anyways, this was like I don't know, an old Stanley key from one of the Sears saws and stuff. So, but anyways, yeah, I'm using all grade 6 bolts on everything, collars, everything's English, down the whole shebang. This is how I mounted it. I had to make a custom bracket, that one there. And up in there, I cut a whole plate at a 1/4 inch, 70, 71. So we're doing pretty good here. Oh, and here's the other deal. Now, this was the one I tapped. None of these came tapped, if you guys remember that. So these are actually 1/4 20 screws, or bolts, I'm sorry, in this. So kind of funny there already. So we're already rocking that. Hey, I finally found a use for one of those CNC mounts, right? So I've been using it, just screwed a board up under there just to hold it up in the air, which is kind of funny. But yeah, that's about all it's good for. Anyways, so we got this all in. This is all set. CVT is done. I got this little doohickey here for governing. It's disconnected, but it will pull still. So this does have the capability to make voltage since it did run lights. And I may put a sensor that up here that tells you when you're overclocked for the RPM. Just something cool. So I got my copper tubing here. I actually ended up painting it black. I thought it would look nice. The copper was cool, but we're not doing like a whole old time theme deal. So I'm gonna put a boot on it, and I'm gonna make a standing, like a standoff to the side for the boot to go on and then the carb to go on. I was gonna use that PWK, but I mean, to be all honest with you, after I used that nibby, I'm really thinking I'm gonna go with a nibby. So I'm probably gonna put a 30 or a 32 millimeter nibby on it. That is 1 1/4, by the way. So, and we're gonna do it that way. Now for the pipe, I've had so many options. We got a 50 by 25 millimeter exhaust on this. So this thing's a monster. I am actually considering, you know what? I can't remember what brand it was. I'm not going to say it off the top of my head, but a snowmobile pipe, one of the 3-cylinder ones. It is like almost the correct proportional size. I got a couple guys looking at it, but I think we're going to go with a snowmobile one. I'm going to run it down up and under the frame so that I can come out here, and that's another reason why we need such a big long reach here, because I'm going to be coming out and I need clearance to go up under and up and into here. So that crank was built that way for that reason. Now it is wide, but I mean, who cares? This is going to be bad. It's going to be a bad mammer jammer, you know what I'm saying? So, anyways. And yes, if you're asking, 1/4. They're all 1/4 everything. The only thing that is not is that nut right there, because it came on the thing pre-done. So, hey, whatever. But yeah, I got all the plate on. I got all this set. This looks good. Everything looks decent. The other thing too is I had someone ask me, why is this red? Well, this thing was brand new in the box, what, 22 years ago or something like that? Close to there on the tag. So all the seals, everything were bad. So this engine never even ran once. And I had to completely take out all the seals, everything, all the gaskets. I did the whole deal, like made sure all the rings were good, everything. I took this whole thing, broke it down. It's never even ran. Then I put in all new seals, and the red stuff is the silicone, because I can't even buy a gasket. They just discontinued it. So, anyways, that's where we're at. By the way, this is welded as well. I got a solid tube all the way down because all this stuff is sitting on it. And it is actually an engine support to keep it from vibrating. We got our CVT. And now with this, we have it so this can't flex, which is a big thing of why these crack on the, 12. Oh my God, I'm just like, on the 212 builds. So, anyways, I cannot wait to hear this thing screaming for the first time. So, the other thing too, I have these. So, this is going to be the next task. I'm going to cut these, do the whole pattern, and I'm going to actually put one hole here, one hole here. And I'm going to leave it for my brakes, because I'm going to use legit brakes on this. So, and what we're going to do is I got to cut the whole pattern here to here, because if I go here to here, I'm actually going to go past the limits of the mill. So we'll just do 1 and 1, cut the center, and we'll use the self-centering, bolts, and then we'll go from there. One of these doohickeys to pull the plate perfectly centered, and then we'll be good to go. So I got plans, lots of plans. But anyways, yeah, that's where we're at. So just give you a up close look, and I really like that design to the CVT. And I just like the fact that it can release and keep going while the CVT slows down. on its own independently, it'll really save a lot on belt wear. Because these big, it's just not made for that type of tire. So this is going to be awesome. All right, peace out.